Why Sui might flip Solana or get crushed trying. Everyone's talking about Solana, and for a good reason. It overtook Ethereum. It's fast, it's cheap, and it's bouncing back harder than anyone, especially if you look into Solana's price action. But here's the plot twist. There is a new kid on the block trying to eat Solana's lunch, and it's called Sui, backed by ex-Meta engineers, processing thousands of transactions per second and promising to fix everything Solana ever got wrong. That sounds crazy. So the big question is Sui actually a Solana killer? Should we invest into it? Should we prioritize it? Or is it just another shiny toy for VCs to dump on retail? Let's break it down. So before we speak more about Sui, since we are comparing it to Solana, because Solana is definitely the chain and the coin that is having the crown, and Sui wants to snap it, is what makes Solana actually unique and then compared to Sui. And I got some notes over here. Solana is designed to be a high performance blockchain focused on scalability, fast transaction, and low fees, right? And that's what we also spoke about in the last update when it came to Ethereum and Solana taking the crown, because the crown was first set on Ethereum, now on Solana, and now let's see if Sui is going to take it, because if we know it before everyone else, we could invest into it and obviously then make a lot of profit. It uses the proof of history, PHO, combined with proof of stake, so both of them. This allows it to proceed thousands of transactions, and the target and use case basically is general purpose smart contracts platforms with high through output for global scalable DApps, which is decentralized apps, right? Now, Sui especially aims to be the best blockchain for asset ownership and composability, optimized especially for games, the metaverse, and digital assets. As you can see, they're going very far already into the future narratives and the narratives that will be definitely established. So compared to Solana in general, it already offers way more, right? The key tech is Move programming language, okay, or originated from Facebook. That's why the Meta guys are behind it, Libra. And Dime project, it focuses on object-oriented design, treating each token, NFT, or asset as an object you can easily modify or transfer. And that's again what we're saying. I truly believe the big narrative in the future that we're gonna see up and coming is gonna be real world assets. And Sui has that technology. So therefore people will maybe leave the Solana chain and switch to the Sui chain. At the summary, Solana is best for high-speed financial transactions and general decentralized apps. Decentralized finance obviously is a very big space, and Solana has taken the space in storm and will probably not lose it. But now scaling into the future and focusing more on future scalability and usage and narratives, it's best for apps, and that's where Sui comes in, because it's best for apps that need fast, flexible, and asset handling. For example, games, metaverse, real world assets, and anything we want to put on the chain, where Solana is a little bit limited. So what are actually the signs that I look for when measuring if an ecosystem is actually winning and being used, right? So if we go on certain decentralized exchanges right now, we can see that Solana is top running, #1 chain, most volume. It came to a point where Solana flipped Ethereum for a couple of days, I think. So it's no doubt that Solana is winning right now, right? But especially when it comes to the future adoption, right? And then combining as me being not only a fundamental investor, but especially from a price action perspective, there's two coins that have very strong price stability, and that is Solana, but even more Sui. Because if you would open right now the Solana chart, you will see a lot of stability at its current price. You will see if it dips down, it will be bought up very fast. But there's not so much stability. It's still moving a lot. There's still a lot of volume coming in, but at the same time, a lot of volume being flushed again. That could be due to it being traded a lot, just way more well known than Sui. But if you then open the Sui chart, you will see an insane strong sideways trend that stands for stability. And most likely what happens in price action, in technical analysis especially, is if we have a lot of stability, we mostly see a very big overreaction afterwards when it starts to break out, when it starts to go up. And this price action looks beautiful for invest because it goes sideways most of the time. Every time something big happens and crypto flushes a lot of volume, Sui just stands there stable. So no one wants to sell it. So the people that originally invested into it, the VCs, the big holders, the whales, the devs, whatever you want to call it, all of these people at the end of the day that are in the project since the beginning. And then you have the extra, let's say, traditional investors such as you and me that put some thousands of dollars into it and believe into the project for the next years. This stability shows us a great performance for the future. And so far it has always come true. XRP is very, very comparable to that in price action. So the best price action that I see in general, and Sui is top #1 on this list with Solana, with XRP, with BNB, right? BNB more so because it's a used coin for an ecosystem running on BNB, Binance being one of the largest exchanges, obviously. So there's not so much downside to that. But for SUI being such still a very small coin and pretty not well known, so not a lot of people talk about SUI, especially in the crypto space. If I speak to people, they rather name Solana, they rather name other coins, but not so much SUI. So I still truly believe it's a hidden gem, and I truly believe in certain narrative points, SUI is gonna take the overhand. Maybe not the overhand of Solana, maybe Solana is continuously going to be bigger because decentralized finance also becoming bigger, obviously, because it just opens up a lot of doors, but still it's a very good side investment and hedge towards Solana, because if Solana should lose its crown, then at least you are invested on the coin and on the ecosystem and on the chain that will probably snatch this crown. And I rather buy very, very low and then sell very high, because that's what we are doing as a trader and as an investor. So the question is, am I holding Solana and SUI? And yes, definitely I'm holding Solana and SUI, but my Solana position is still very much bigger. But especially when I started to research for this video about SUI, it more and more became very interesting for me, because so far I've mainly seen SUI as a coin with a very strong price action, which I as a trader love. So I got to SUI by people naming it, but then I really started to invest into trade because of its price action, basically just because of technical analysis and its price and how it's composed. But now knowing about SUI and where it's invested in and how it can basically overthrow Solana because it's catering more into the future narratives and trends, I will definitely increase my holdings, maybe even 50-50, Solana 60% and then 40% in SUI from these dedicated money that I'm putting into these projects. Right now, I would still definitely prefer Solana as an investment, as trade, just solely on the purpose of making money. If it's belief in the project, then obviously you may have to choose. But when it comes to price action and percentages and gain right now to trade, there's just more volatility, there's more going on, there's more money being transacted, coming in, coming out, and there's a real usage right now, where SUI it's still more like future music. Solana is perfect right now to make money, to trade, to invest, and more towards the future. If you want to invest into the future in crypto, SUI seems like one of the best projects. So in this current cycle, I still see Solana as the upper hand. But then in the next up and coming years, SUI definitely should outperform if they don't do anything meaningful wrong, right? Because right now they have a very strong fundament, they have a very strong team, they have a very strong idea, and they're definitely catering into all of the flaws of Solana, which Solana does not have, which could be adapted to it, but so far did not. So if we speak about the prices and the future price targets of Solana and SUI, right now here you can see the SUI chart. And as you can see, the SUI chart C target, which is our goal of where we want to see price and the most probable outcome for price prediction, is set around $12 per SUI, currently sitting at 2.6. So I will just finish here the Fibonacci extension, which again we use especially to analyze price. If we use the start, the first A correction and then B correction, you can see we end somewhere over here at $10 to $13 per SUI. That's just the technical side of it. And again, you can see if I scroll into it in just a second, how great the price stability is going on here. Most people will call it boring. They will say it's not doing anything. But what you guys need to understand is that it's building up stability for future big moves. And if we go a little bit deeper into the chart right now and I zoom into it, this price stability over here is really amazing. Right now we are in the weekly. Let's go in the 4-hour chart. As you can see, it holds pretty well. It respects all the bullish levels. Many crypto coins, especially many altcoins, destroyed the bullish levels. They broke through it completely. So therefore there's no stability, no trust, no long-term investment. But SUI definitely is a counterpart to all of these altcoins that just flushed over the last couple of months, getting completely wrecked. But you still see bullish price action going on in SUI, which is just amazing to see, especially in these times, and speaks especially for a strong community, a strong investment, and a long-term vision. So I don't see fundamentally and price action wise a reason why we should not go to at least $10. And that's obviously an amazing performance that we could look into as investors in a very stable project to make an easy 280% in the next couple of years. Now, if we obviously go into Solana, we have to, and I was one of the investors big in Solana when we were at $22 2 years ago in October. I still remember that was the first time I really went heavily into Solana. But if we open Solana together here on the phone and we go into it, our price prediction right now for Solana is sitting at somewhere at around, right, $480, $450 up to $500, right? So we're currently sitting at $140 per Solana. So that would mean an increase of total 188%. So also still has a lot of potential, but compared here to Sui, obviously we lose with 280, but I don't see any reason why Solana should not go there. So both of them have amazing potential. Percentual wise, for us to make a very good return, already 100x on these coins with very low risk is something that you need to, find in this space. So both of them continue to be very good investments, and Sui at around $10 and Solana at least at 450 is what we definitely are going to see once there comes more volume into the market. Solana has momentum, Sui has potential, and there's no better way to say it, but only one of them will dominate the next wave of layer 1 adoption. The question is, are you betting on the comeback king or the underdog? Drop your play in the comment. Solana, Sui, neither of them or both. And if you want my exact strategy, picks, and portfolio breakdown, hit subscribe. Let's win this cycle the smart way.